On the road to WrestleMania, anything can happen. WWE knows that, and the company hopes everyone else does as well. For that reason, tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw did not promise much going in. After an exciting Elimination Chamber, The Miz walked out as WWE Champion, shocking the world. However, it was time for him to pay the piper. He had enlisted Bobby Lashley's help at the event, and he was given just 1 week before he had to defend against the Almighty. Since losing to Drew McIntyre in controversial fashion, Lashley has looked unstoppable. He won the United States Heavyweight Championship with ease and only lost it because Riddle pinned John Morrison, never defeating the actual champion. The A-lister may be a mastermind with many plans to keep his gold, but the Almighty is a force beyond all planning. No one can beat Lashley on his best day, and this was his chance to finally win the WWE Championship. Before he got that opportunity in the main event, Drew McIntyre promised to return to WWE. Would he be able to focus on what was stolen from him? Or would Sheamus make it clear that his former friend had another promise to keep first? This edition of the Red Brand had every opportunity to blow the WWE Universe away. However, with little promised ahead of time, fans had to just hope WWE had a grander plan with just 1 month before WrestleMania 37. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube at StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Phenom, Michael Bullock. We are awaiting the presence of the Twisted Angel and First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Dee Dee Woodson. She's having some computer issues right now, but she has assured us that she will be here. Other than us, there she is. Perfect timing, Dee Dee. We just started, so perfect timing. There you go. So we're all here, and well, without any further ado, folks, let's dive right on in to what ended up being. Was it the best show? Absolutely not. Was it a newsworthy show? You better believe it. So with all that being said, let's start things off with the former two-time WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. He comes out, he cuts a promo, and then from there, interrupted by The Miz and John Morrison, Miz tried to enlist Drew McIntyre's help against Lashley. And then Sheamus comes out, and then it led into our first match of the night, which was Drew McIntyre one-on-one with Sheamus. A perfect number 2 match, a perfect second main event to counteract the big main event, which we will get into. And it was Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, and when all was said and done, the winner of the match in 22 minutes and 50 seconds, Drew McIntyre wins the match with the Claymore. All right. As far as the segment goes, it was a very strong opening segment. Drew showed the right mix of frustration and fire, and The Miz, of course, tried to weasel his way out of the title match. And an MVP established that it would happen and set the time for the top of the hour, another, TikTok moment here. And they gave us a taste of the match going into the break. And I'm surprised they went with this match without advertising it in advance. But, but that's as far as the segment goes. McIntyre continues to work on the highest level, yet he may still not be out wrestling Sheamus. The Celtic Warrior has been incredible these last few months. He can do no wrong in the ring, and it was clear that he wanted this more than anything. He and one of his absolute best friends got to fight one-on-one with full hatred between them. The hate in this bout was palpable. The two brutalized each other, and the focus on the jaw worked, allowing Sheamus to look truly sadistic. The only real disappointment was that the two fought with no hype on Raw, rather than waiting for Fastlane or even WrestleMania. The point of Sheamus turning heel should have been a major match rather than such a rushed singles clash. But other than that, though, this was hands down the fight of the night. I'm going to give this about 4 to 4.25 stars. Wow. What a great way to start off this history-making edition of Monday Night Raw, to say the very least. So not much more to say on this. Good old MF, Michael Fletcher, come on in. Excuse me. Strong opening segment to start. But Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, what a match. 4 to 4 1/4, easy.
I'm going to say this, and I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it. This has to go down as one of the greatest matches inside the Thunderdome. I don't think I've ever seen a match that could have been any better inside the Thunderdome era. Clearly fight of the night. You could even call it maybe Raw's fight of the year right now because it was that good. 4.5 stars. I disagree with everything you just said, Florio. This was without a doubt a masterpiece. It makes Drew McIntyre even more better than ever. That he is without a doubt the most worthy and truly the number one contender for the WWE Championship. Sheamus looked great. He looked better than ever. His body of work was amazing. These two men work so good that if there is some reason that these two men maybe post WrestleMania has an angle that has to involve the WWE Championship, shut up and take my money right now. I don't give a damn. This was amazing. This was awesome. This was a fire start to Monday Night Raw. As a matter of fact, it was better than any Raw start that you've had in the last month. And that's a period and a quotation. There's nothing to add to that. Michael Bullock, it's yours. I'm done.
All I can say is preach, Michael Fletcher. I mean, talk about a man who's telling it like it is. I think Fletch really, he took it to another level and then some. So, you know what? I'm going to go with Fletch here. 4.5 stars. I mean, hands down, this was the fight of the night. I mean, this was a definite be a man fight, hands down. I mean, these two certainly brought it to the table. And this was definitely the best fight since they went to they moved to the Thunderdome. I mean, this, and also is the reason why Drew McIntyre is the number one contender to regain the WWE Championship. So, nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it is yours.
Yeah, I'll agree with the 4.5 stars. The only reason I'm going to go with 4.5 stars is because there's way too many commercial breaks. And to nitpick, I really didn't like the fact that the commentating team was really overselling everything. But other than that, this was definitely a WrestleMania quality match, and they did a great job. I would give it even higher rating if it wasn't for the fact we had 3 commercial breaks in the match. So yeah, very good opening to the show. Definitely fight of the night. So nothing more to add. It's yours, Florio.
And with that being said, I'm going to make an indemnit on my rating. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars as well. I was initially going to go with that, but I thought you guys were going to say it was too high. But no, it turned out I would have been right. So 4.5 stars for me as well. We'll make that sucker unanimous. A couple more minutes and a couple more good near falls and a little bit more. We would have been talking our first 5-star match on Monday Night Raw since John Cena and Cesaro's U.S. Open Challenge match in 2015. We'll never forget that 5-star.
It was getting there too. Like you said, maybe another 5 more minutes, and we were definitely flirting with five, Anthony. Like
unbelievable.
It was almost like there was a point where I was thinking, oh my God, like there was a point where it started to feel, I was feeling the 5, and then when it ended, I was like 4.5. But it was getting there. Like I was really debating, give it a few more minutes. We might be talking 5 here. So yeah, it was there.
Wow.
It was definitely getting into the 5 range.
I never thought in my wildest dreams that we would be this close to having a 5-star match in this day and age. Oh my goodness.
Especially this type of WWE. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've yelled 5 for WWE match.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we did. But anyways, wow, that was amazing. But as the old saying, as I always like to say, back to reality, folks. It was cool down time, and I can't think of anybody better for a cool down cutout than Miss My Hole, that being Nia Jax. And she went up against Naomi, and Nia Jax dominated Naomi, knocked her out, squashed her in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And let me say this, Naomi took time away from WWE with serious potential upon her return, and she had the opportunity to truly take over a division in need of more top stars. When she came back to back up Lana, she at least had a chance to win the women's tag team championships. Now she and Lana look as out of their depth against the champion as the Riot Squad did. The tag team division needs serious contenders. This made the faces look like jokes. Losing to Jax is not a problem. It is losing so quickly without much of a fight that ruins all of Naomi's momentum. Naomi is better than this. WWE has put too much time into Lana's feud with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to treat it like such a joke now. That is beyond lazy booking. So, yeah, this was a dud. So,
Flair, are you there? I'm sorry, guys. I think we just had like a little bit of a glitch here in East Providence. Mike, are you there? Bullock?
I'm here.
All right, you're good. Dee Dee, can I hear you?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. I don't
Be something on Florio's end.
Yeah, because I just saw the lights flicker, and we are here in East Providence, and we just saw the lights flicker just a second ago. Looks like we just lost Florio for the moment, guys. So I will take over to try to help my buddy out here. Did not expect this to happen, folks. I'm very sorry for that. So we were talking about Nia Jax and Shayna, the Nia Jax versus it was the Nia Jax versus Naomi, which we weren't going to get into. We basically tossed that match out. We said that it wasn't going to be anything relevant. So I'm going to continue this on here. And again, I apologize for what just happened. Anthony Florio, we just lost Florio for the moment. So after that, we did have a brief little thing going on. It was a moment, and this actually led to another match, as it was Sheldon Benjamin and Cedric Alexander versus Braun Strowman and Adam Pearce for the Raw Tag Team titles on the line. When it was all said and done, Cedric Alexander and Sheldon Benjamin successfully defended the titles in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Guys, do you want to talk about it, or do you just want to move on? I'm guessing based off the no comments, we'll move on. All right, so next up we had was Damian Priest going up against Elias. Damian Priest won the match in 15 minutes and 25 seconds. Look, long match, good battle. solid fight, 3.5 stars for me. I don't think there's any more to add. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours, my friend. What do you think about the match?
I'll tell you, Fletch. I mean, going into this match, I mean, I was thinking that this wasn't going to be anything good. That this was going to be a squash match, but no. I mean, this turned out to be much better than what was expected, and I'll give this about 3.25, 3.5 for the effort. So yeah. So and I just got a message from Florio, Fletch. Give me just a minute to. I don't know if you probably got it too, but
yeah, I got it. I'm responding. I told him that I'm taking over the show. I got it. So yeah.
He said his power went out for a moment, but just came back on. So he'll be back in just a moment.
Yep.
So yeah. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it is yours.
Second best fight of the night, 3.5 stars. I mean, Damian Priest looked awesome. Elias, I was really surprised. He did pretty well in this match because, normally he doesn't. I don't think he looks that great, but he did pretty well with this one with Damian Priest and everything. So yeah, I'd say this was a pretty good match. So not much more I'm going to add. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, and then we went into the first fight, and this was the big one. The WWE title on the line. The Miz versus Bobby Lashley. The fight ends in 27 seconds via a countout. Bobby Lashley wins the match because basically the Miz grabbed the belt and ran away from the fight. Basically, the fight literally ended right then and there. I'm just gonna say it like this: MVP went non-PG. He was pissed, beyond pissed. I've never seen him this angry in my life, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. I was angry. Bullock was angry. Nobody was happy. The Miz weaseled out of the fight, but we find out later in the night that was a mistake by the Miz, because boy, does it come back to haunt him a little bit later on. So, with that said, we move right on along. Then we had Charlotte Flair one-on-one with Shayna Baszler. Charlotte Flair wins the match in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Solid, okay match. I'm not going to say it was anything to write home about, but, I mean, there was a solid action. It was pretty decent for what it was worth. And, yeah, I thought they did pretty well. So, there's really nothing more to add here. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was an okay fight. Do you guys want to talk about it, or do you just want to move on?
Move on.
Move on? All right. So next up we had was a 6-man tag team fight. The Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado, and Gran Metalik with the United States Heavyweight Champion Riddle. They went up against T-Bar, Mace, and Slapjack of Retribution. Riddle and Lucha House Party wins the match in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Well, fine, it was okay. All right, nothing more to say. But then Mustafa Ali got pissed, said, "Get the hell out of the ring. You and me, Riddle, let's go one-on-one." So they had a match. Mustafa Ali wins the match in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Championship committee moment, no doubt about it. But, I mean, it's definitely nothing to write home about. But the thing is at the end of the day, It's a championship committee moment. We have ourselves Mustafa Ali now gets a shot, possibly at Riddle, sometime down the line for the United States heavyweight title. Very interesting to see. It leads us to the main event of the evening, the moment we've all been waiting for, truly what we've been waiting for. The Miz versus Bobby Lashley. The fight actually does happen. Shane McMahon later in the night says, you know what? I'm going to find a suitable match that this fight can happen in. They decide we're going to do this in a lumberjack match. The winner of the bout in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And new WWE champion Bobby Lashley. He wins the championship. Dee Woodson. It was definitely the comeuppance of the Miz. I know we were waiting for it. It happened. History made tonight. Bobby Lashley becomes one of a very handful of African American world champions. Not many. And he just added his name to the list.
That he did. And I told you guys that he was going to be a paper champion. And sure enough, I mean, only had the title for 2 weeks. But I'm going to take a nice little word that Drew McIntyre said this at the beginning of the show. Bobby Lashley just crushed the cockroach. So now we have a respectable champion. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Bobby Lashley, but I think having him as champion is 10 times better than ever having Miz as champion. The match was a wee bit short and very one-sided, so I'm not going to rate the match, but my land, I mean, that they definitely punished the cockroach, and now, thank God, he's not the champion anymore. So I know Florio is thrilled to death to have a respectable champion now to take over. So not much more I'm going to add. It's yours, Fletch.
It wasn't much of a battle. And the thing was, at the end of the day, the right man won it all. We were waiting for the moment all night, and we knew, first off, we heard the rumors that, the Miz is not going to be the champion for very long, that he might not even make it, he might not hold the belt up until WrestleMania, that he's going to lose the belt at Mania, or that he won't have the belt all the way to WrestleMania. Okay, so we knew that was happening. For it to happen this fast is remarkable. Now all the betting line would say, all right, maybe he loses it at Fastlane, and then you go from there. He doesn't even make it that far. He literally drops the belt in 2 weeks. And the thing was, going into the fight, the Miz gave a very passionate, fiery speech at Shane McMahon, saying, what, you want Bobby Lashley to be the guy to run the company? You want him over me, where I'm, this and that? Miz, the reason why you're the champion was because of Bobby Lashley. Lashley destroyed McIntyre for you to cash in the Money in the Bank and for you to win the title. You never won it on legitimate means in the first place. So at the end of the day, the decision was made, and it's the right decision. Nobody is angry. As a matter of fact, nobody is pissed. Everybody is happy. Everybody is not having any issues whatsoever. At the end of the day, the true champion just shined. And Bobby Lashley, for the last few months, has been the destroyer. He has been dominating. He's been destroying people left and right, from this side of the equation, from this side to the other side. And the thing is, it's not because, oh, he's a big man that, you know, they want this big monster guys that they want him to be the guys to be leading into WrestleMania. No. It's that his body of work and what he's done in the ring has made him worthy, made him relevant, and made him basically what he's been all along. The Destroyer, the almighty Bobby Lashley, and now we can call him the World Wrestling Entertainment Heavyweight Champion of the World. And that's something that will never be taken away from him ever again. No, the thing is, when you're the WWE champion, you are in a class among yourself. When you're the WWE champion, that legacy is forever. And Bobby Lashley has made history tonight. It's almost as reminiscent of the night in Jacksonville, Florida, when Ron Simmons became the WCW World Heavyweight Champion after he beat the legendary Big Van Vader. Now, don't get me wrong. I know by saying that The Miz is nowhere in the class of Big Van Vader. It isn't. But the relevancy, the moment, is without a doubt something that needs to be said and needs to be deserved. And yes, I also want to give a little shout out to our little mascot of the Wrestling Forum, who's right now in the house. Hello. So tonight was a big night, and Michael Bullock, I know Floyo's not here, but I'll say it for him, man. History was made here tonight in the Thunderdome as we just witnessed the crowning of a new WWE champion. Tiger, hello.
Yeah, Tiger definitely looks so excited about Bobby Lashley being champion.
Tiger looks ecstatic right now.
And that the Miz is no longer the champion.
Yep.
Probably would have loved to scratch the Miz even more now, just for added good measure. But yeah, I mean, history was definitely made. I mean, Bobby Lashley is now the WWE champion, and he's definitely got some momentum going into WrestleMania. And who knows? Could this be the setup of McIntyre and Lashley for the championship? We'll have to wait and see. So there's really nothing more that needs to be said. Fletch, it is yours.
All right. I'm gonna take over for Florio here, and we're gonna do the overall reviews. I know he said that he was resetting his computer, so I know he should be back on momentarily. So what we're gonna do is I'll lead off, and then we'll go from there. So, look, it wasn't the best Monday Night Raw, but it was very, very, very newsworthy. History was made. We got a new WWE champion. The road to WrestleMania just took another twist in this crazy ride that we've been on. And for me, the right decision was made. WWE got poo-pooed and ripped to shreds for letting The Miz win the title the way that he did at the Elimination Chamber. They've rewrote in that wrong and put it on Bobby Lashley, a man who's waited 17 years for the moment. For me, even though the rest of the show was the beginning of the night was amazing. The end of the night, newsworthy. The rest of it in the middle, not so good. At the end of the day, I could give this at least 6 out of 10. And the only reason I'm giving it a 6 for the red hot start at the beginning and the magical moment at the end of the night with the crowning of the new champion. Other than that, this Raw in the middle was awful. I don't recommend nothing to watch on that front, but I will say this. Start at the beginning, watch McIntyre versus Sheamus, because that fight was absolutely amazing. And then, if I were you, go out of your way to watch the Lumberjack match for the WWE title. If you want to see the history-making moment, do it. Trust me. If you're a Bobby Lashley fan, or even if you're a Miz hater, if you don't like the Miz, this is a moment that you're going to enjoy every minute of that match. So there's really nothing more to add for me. 6 out of 10. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 for me. I mean, yeah, the beginning of the show was really good, and yeah, I mean, everything else was pretty much there. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add to it. So, Dee, what's in it is yours.
Yeah, I'll give it 6.5 or so, or 6.5. Yeah, hot start. Then it kind of cooled down until you got to Priest versus Elias. That was kind of an up type match. That was pretty good. And then it just kind of went downhill again until the very end when you get to watch the cockroach Miz get squished by Bobby Lashley and the Lumberjacks. And I mean, that was pretty fun to watch. I was actually in the Thunderdome again tonight, so listening to the producer was hilarious through this match. So, yeah. And, of course, every time that The Miz was trying to come out, listening to him was pretty hilarious because, you know, he always tells you to do big boos, and he was actually I think he was more thrilled that Lashley won than I think most of the people in the Thunderdome because he was cheering along with us. So yeah, not much more I'm gonna add. So I guess I will see you guys Friday night. Good night.
All right, Dee Dee, thank you very much as always. We're just waiting for Anthony Florio to come back in to give us his thoughts on the show. I am just kind of hoping that he shows up momentarily. So what we got coming up, guys, is this Wednesday night on Wednesday Night Mayhem. Obviously, we got NXT, and we also will have a little bit of an update with AEW. As you guys been noticing, the AEW Women's Tournament has been going on while we've been away. I mean, we've had a lot of matches going down. Let me see if I can get the women's. Here we go, Women's Tournament. As we've been doing the Eliminator tournament for All Elite Wrestling, and let's see, do we got it? Is it here? Number one contenders eliminate. I think this is it. No, that's not it. Or is it? Nope. Let me see. Hold on. Number one contenders. Okay, I think it's this one here for Revolution. Okay, matches. Well, there is supposed to be a. All right, here we go. So, we are literally down to the final 3. Almost done. Don't end the show just yet. All right. So, just let them know that I haven't ended the show yet. that I'm just waiting for him to come back on. That we did finish the Raw recap. So I'm just gonna. All right, so up to the point here, we're now down to the final. So we're down to the final matches, which is either going to be Ryu Mizunami versus Nyla Rose, and the winner of that match, that fight will go down on Wednesday night, and the winner of that match will fight Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's World Title. Now, the tournament itself, the Women's World Title tournament, started with 2 brackets, as many of you guys know, on the US and on the Japan side. So, Ryu Mizunami won the Japan bracket. Nyla Rose just beat Thunder Rosa tonight, knocked her out, and now she's got the shot at possibly fighting for the title. So we got a lot going on this week. Let me see. Did they post a preview for AEW? Let me see. We just got the Women's Eliminator tournament. So, yeah, so this is what has happened. This was during a very special event on YouTube. They had Lila Bates versus Maddie Winchakowski, and Maddie won the match. Then we had Layla Hirsch versus Miranda Elise, and Layla Hirsch won, and that led to the final match. That led to the U.S. final, and Nyla Rose won the match in 13 minutes and 40 seconds. And look, great match, good match back and forth. But like I said, I'm shocked that Nyla Rose got through, but she has indeed gotten through. She will indeed be the one to fight for the title if she wins. And now, what I'm trying to see, let's see. Yeah, here we go. NXT preview. We do got a title match. Set it up, as many of you guys know, this week for NXT. We got 2 title matches, as a matter of fact, on the fight card. We do got is Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler going up against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. And then on the men's side, we got is Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch going up against Wesley and Nash Carter, MSK. So we got ourselves that. And then on AEW, this is the go-home show for this will be the go-home show before Revolution. And as we said, it's going to be Mayuri Jiranami versus Nyla Rose. And the winner will fight in the women's... What is this? Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know why somebody's trying to call it this time of the night. But anyway, so we're hoping to get Anthony back on momentarily, guys. We got a lot of content coming up. So, yeah, so we got is, like we said, Wednesday Night Mayhem. Thursday is Strictly Sports, and we got a lot of big news coming out of the world of sports, including a big lead into the night, a big lead off, as JJ Watt has made his decision on which team he's going to go with. Then we got some NFL news, some big news coming out of the NFL as it pertains to TV contracts and whatnot. And then our main event, we're going to be previewing All-Star Weekend in the NBA. And then Friday night is going to be Cerebral Smack Talk as we talk about it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something quick. I know Anthony normally doesn't let me do this, but let me see if I can find any Impact Wrestling stuff or, let's see, Impact Wrestling news or results from last week. Maybe I can talk about that for the moment. Let's see. Let me see. Impact Wrestling, because maybe I can do normally I don't do this because normally this is Florio's job, but I'm going to see if I can find his Impact Wrestling, see if I can find any stuff for him while doing it. Actually, there is one bit of news I wanted to get into while I'm waiting for Florio to get back on, is that we also had some big news out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. As many of you guys know, a couple of days ago, it was the title match, Tetsuya Naito going one-on-one with Naito defending the title against Kota Ibushi, and Ibushi won the match, defeating Naito, successfully defending the Intercontinental title. Now New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced that they are no longer gonna have both belts together. The Intercontinental Championship and the IWGP Heavyweight titles are now going to be merged into one belt. So the biggest news that's coming out of it is that the IWGP Heavyweight Championship will now become the IWGP World Heavyweight title. It's one belt. That's it. There's no more Intercontinental title. The belt lasted 10 years in the company, and they have decided to retire the Intercontinental title. And yeah, so that's the big news from New Japan. Now let's see if I can get the let's do the TV reports. Let's try to go into Impact Wrestling, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Ring of Honor. No, 205 Live. I'll do that in a minute. NXT UK. Where's Impact? Impact Wrestling. Here we go. So, with Impact Wrestling, just so I can help Florio, with Impact Wrestling, this week on Access TV, we had Jake Something versus the Deaners in a tables match, and it was Jake Something winning the match over the Deaner in 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Then after that, we had a promo segment that led to a six-man tag team fight. Trey Miguel, Willie Mack, and Josh Alexander, they went up against Ace Austin, Black Taurus, and Chris Bay, and in a match where the winners would get, which would be a number one contenders triple threat match next week on the show. And when it was all said and done, it was Black Taurus, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay winning the match in 8 minutes and 43 seconds. So after all that went down, a lot of promo stuff, a lot of different things. Then we had the Good Brothers. They went up against Larry D and Ace Romero in a non-title match. Good Brothers wins the match in 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Solid match. Pretty good on that end. Then we had Hernandez versus Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards wins the match in 2 minutes and 28 seconds. That led to what is this, our main event of the evening? No, it's not. Okay. So next up we had was a women's tag team match, as it was Jordynne Grace and Jazz versus Kimberly and Susan Young. And when it was and this was the number one contenders for the women's knockouts tag team titles, Jazz and Jordynne Grace wins the match. Then in our main event, for the TNA World Heavyweight title, Jake Something versus Moose. Moose successfully defends the title, and he wins it in 6 minutes and 54 seconds. So, solid main event. Good show for what it was worth. Next up we had, right after that, actually, normally I would never do this, but I'm going to do it just so that I can give Florio all the time that he needs. So we'll do 205 Live now. So 205 Live. And we was Kurt Stallion and Mansoor versus Everrise. When it was all said and done, Mansoor and Kurt Stallion won the match. Then we had Tony Nese versus Austin Gray. And Austin Gray defeated Tony Nese. So 2 matches on that card, which was not bad. For Ring of Honor this week, Ring of Honor, we had, and they had, let me see, Jay Lethal and Jonathan, there you go. We had Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham. They went up against Kenny King and Dragon Lee in a Pure Rules tag team match. When it was all said and done, Dragon Lee and Kenny King won the match in 14 minutes and 12 seconds to win the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Then on top of that, right after that, we had was Rush versus Shane Taylor for the Ring of Honor World title. When it was all said and done, it was Rush successfully defending the Ring of Honor World Championship. So that's it. Anthony, I did 205 Live for you. I did Impact Wrestling for you. And then I was just trying to fill the time for you. We did all the Monday Night Raw stuff, so it's all of yours, my friend. Just give me your thoughts, and you can do whatever you want to do with the show after that.
Oh my gosh,
Trust me, Florio. I nearly lost power in here too. My lights flickered for like a brief second.
I'm just gonna come out and say that, words cannot describe the adventure that I've been on.
Oh yeah,
for the last several minutes. I mean,
yeah.
Power goes out. This computer acts all kerplooey, and it didn't go kerplunk. It went kerplooey. But that's all there is to say.
Yeah. On
that, and then the net went down. Then I had to do a restart because my browser wouldn't open.
Yeah.
And it finally opened and all this stuff. So
don't worry, I got you, kid.
I appreciate that. I very, very much appreciate it. But hang about, MF, because we definitely have an announcement to.
I haven't even made that announcement yet. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. When it comes to where did I leave off when before all this BS happened?
You were on, if I remember correctly. Now I gotta go back to the Raw and see where you were, because I think you were on the third fight of the night.
I believe I was.
Which because you were about to get into
the tag team title situation.
The tag team title situation, yeah. And that was right at the point that we lost it. You lost it. So, yeah, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin versus Braun Strowman and Adam Pearce, that part.
Yeah, do you if you could help me out with the times of the falls, that would really help. So
Okay.
yeah, because I don't want to go into too much of it, but a major thanks to good old MF Michael Fletcher for filling in on such short for taking over on such short notice. I mean, like they used to say in old WWF lore, anything can happen, and certainly it happened, and then some. I mean, it's very windy here where we are, and I have a feeling that might have been the root of all this. So,
Oh, it was. It was definitely the
Yeah.
root of all it. 3 minutes and 15 seconds on that title match.
yeah, that was a dud. It was not good. Strowman continues to be booked with a singular mindset in the tag team division. He makes every tag team look like a joke. Her business has been so well protected to this point that Alexander and Benjamin could not lose when they were not working together well. This made both look bad, and it showed why fans can rarely take the tag division seriously. It was all about building the awkward and uninspiring feud of the monster versus the best in the world. Shane has had some surprisingly good matches with AJ Styles and The Miz, but Strowman is a step too far. This match has no spark to it. It is hard to tell who was supposed to be the face in this rivalry, so we're not going to get much more into that. Elias, Elias against Damian Priest.
According to this, it says it's 15 minutes and 25 seconds. I don't know if it was that long. Maybe it was.
How did you guys feel about it?
We said 3.5 stars. We said 3
Agreed.
stars.
Yeah, this was the sleeper fight of the night for me. I mean, it was a 3.5-star match, and I'll tell you what. I had no hope going into it. Of course, I thought this was going to be another cutout fight, but no, this was the sleeper fight of the night, and definitely the second best fight of the night. So well done there. And then the Miz and Lashley stuff.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna get into the count out stuff. I mean, that was obviously an NA there. Charlotte, Shayna Baszler. That was what, like 5 minutes, if not less.
2 minutes and 55 seconds.
Can't believe I'm saying it, but that was a dud as well. I mean, Charlotte and Baszler are good together, but it was too short. The result also took away from the action in the ring. The idea of those two having a full match with a Queen of Spades could wear down Charlotte throughout is enticing, but may never happen. Somehow, despite all the work done to build up Jackson Baszler, Charlotte is still seen as a much higher priority. In the same night, the Irresistible Force squashed Naomi. The Queen of Spades lost decisively and too quickly to Charlotte. And then Retribution against Riddle and the Lucha House Party, and then Ali versus Riddle.
Yeah, so 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the 6-man tag, and then 3 minutes and 20 seconds on Ali versus Riddle. But we didn't really talk much about it, but we did reference Championship Committee moment for Mustafa Ali.
And rightfully so. The story here was better than the action, which was badly rushed over 2 matches. From the surprise finish of the 6-man tag early to the ugly finish of the single match that followed, it was clear no one was quite comfortable with the time they had. However, there was a rousing success of storytelling where Ali was able to get Retribution to work together to benefit him, even when they could not win on their own. He leads by example by taking advantage of them more than he ever helps them. Hopefully, it means that Retribution is not falling apart right away. There's still a chance for the group, at least, to get Ali his first ever WWE singles title. So we'll see about that. All right, the big moment. How long was that?
3:05.
Well, it was probably like maybe 1.5 to 2 stars, but this was a long journey to get to the end, but this genuinely worked as the Almighty's emphatic victory. Going into the night, both men were heels, so WWE had to find a story to tell. By the end of the night, Lashley was the clear fan favorite, taking out the scumbag heel. Miz was never going to last long as champion with his current run. He always does the work, and he allowed the Almighty to emphatically become the WWE champion for the first time. It was a heroic moment while still creating a dangerous monster to be overcome down the line. Lashley has been through so much to get to this moment. He has always been so close to that goal, and he is now emphatically one of WWE's top heels. He has made history in his own career that will last a lifetime. And MF, I'm sure you did the gorilla on that one, right?
Yep.
I knew you would. So what you guys give it for an overall rating?
6 to 6.5 out of 10. We said the only two matches that are must watches were the McIntyre versus Sheamus. You actually surprised me. Go out of your way to watch the Damian Priest Elias. We didn't say to watch it, but now that you talked about Sleeper Fight of the Night, go and watch that. And then obviously the moment, the crowning of the new WWE champion.
Okay, so that's that. I'm going to concur on all that. 6 to 6.5. I mean, newsworthy show because of the fact that we have a new WWE champion and a very deserving one in Bobby Lashley. It's just a shame that he's going to be keeping the belt warm for McIntyre come WrestleMania. I mean, he's only going to hold that thing for like a month and a half, and he's going to hold it for like about 6 weeks or so, and then 6 weeks from now, that's when they'll obviously give it back to McIntyre, to give him his crowning moment at WrestleMania, because there's going to be fans. They want to have 30,000 or so. So
yeah.
So that's the plan, and it's supposedly that's supposedly going to be the main event for night 1, because they want to save Edge and Roman for night 2.
Yeah.
So you're going to have the main event this time around. MF SmackDown will be main eventing WrestleMania. So and I know that makes you very excited. So but anyways, and MF, you obviously you covered my Tony. You did the Tony's take for me. I appreciate that. So all right, very good. So so that's it. So that will put the bow on this very interesting edition. Be Raw, to say the very least. Special thanks to MF for taking over for me while I had to deal with my unexpected issue. It is what it is. These things happen. We have to deal with it. So major shout out to MF. So that's all I can say on that. I think it was Mother Nature's way of saying, hey, you owe Anthony for when he took over that Cerebral Smack Talk for you some time ago, that god awful SmackDown we did. So
yeah, when I saw the lights flicker, I was like, uh-oh.
Yep, and then you saw me gone, and
then when you gone, I was like, wait, Bullock, are you there? And then he's like, yup. Didi, are you there? Yup, I'm here. I was like, okay, let's go. We're gonna have to run this. So
yep. Yeah, and you did, and you definitely did a commendable job handling a very difficult situation. No doubt about that. So but anywho, let's set the table here. We have a big announcement coming up. Wednesday night, we got Wednesday Night Mayhem. We got a huge show because AEW has that huge mixed tag team matchup. Shaquille O'Neal, Jade Cargill going up against Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet. And also the Women's Eliminator Tournament Final. We'll get into that. And then that's also the go-home show for Revolution. That goes down Sunday night. And then NXT, we got those 2 huge tag team title matchups. The Women's Tag Team Championship matchup. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez challenging Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And, of course, MSK. Can they do it one more time when they square off against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch for the NXT Tag Team Championship? And then the latest in the Adam Cole Undisputed Era saga. So we'll get into that on Wednesday. Thursday, Strictly Sports, we got a huge lead story. JJ Watt has found a new team. We'll tell you who that new team is come Thursday night. Do we have anything else on the pipeline for Thursday, MF, besides the big JJ Watt story?
Basically, we were going to talk about all that NFL stuff about ABC jumping back into the Super Bowl. We also ESPN Plus maybe getting the NFL Network, the NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then we also were going to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend, because this weekend's All-Star Weekend as well.
Oh yeah, that was the main event. So
yep.
And also on Thursday, I had a little slip of the tongue there. And also at the end of the show on Thursday night, we are going to have a blockbuster announcement.
Yes.
And we're not gonna give it away right here and now. We're gonna save that for Thursday night. Let me tell you, this announcement is gonna be humongous. I mean, blockbuster announcement regarding very exciting future content, something we have never done before in the history of our program, and we're gonna share that sucker on Thursday night, and I can't wait. So And then Friday, of course, Cerebral Smack Talk, and we'll review, or we'll preview rather. We'll review SmackDown, obviously, and then we'll preview the AEW Revolution pay-per-view, and then we'll take it from there, because AEW pay-per-views generally tend to run late. So I don't know if we'll be able to do a recap show on Sunday night. We might have to push it back to the Mayhem the following week. We might have to do that. So with that being said, that will put the bow on this very interesting edition of Ridiculously Raw. This is one Ridiculously Raw I know you're all going to remember for a long time. Not just because of the history that was made tonight, but because of the unexpected turn of events. But, these things happen. So that's it. So until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Mayhem, it's Anthony Florio here for the Savior, good old MF Michael Fletcher, and as well as my other elite panelists, the Phenom Michael Bullock, the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson, and of course always and forever the man who started this whole thing, FKG 401 Derek Ferreira. Hit him up, and that's it. So until Wednesday night for Mayhem, and like I tell you, friends, like I always say, beyond anything else, and especially tonight, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye for now. You know the routine. Throw it up, Fortune 4 style. Have a blessed couple of days. So long, and bye, everybody. Bye.